Hi, and welcome back to another week of the Farm to Table virtual series, where I get you guys started with some general information about a subject, and then Eileen follows up with you guys the following week with a fun, easy recipe that you can do at home. So this week's topic is corn. So let's go ahead and get you guys started with some general information about corn. So it's also referred to as maize. Corn is a cereal crop that is a part of the grass family. Other products in this family include wheat, rice, barley, oats, rye, and sorghum. Corn was first domesticated by native peoples in Mexico about 10,000 years ago. Native Americans taught European colonists to grow the indigenous grains, and since its introduction into Europe by Christopher Columbus and other explorers, corn has spread to all areas of the world suitable to its cultivation. Corn is a tall annual grass. And corn plants contain both male and female flowers in different locations on the plant. An ear of corn is actually a female flower stalk resting between the sheaths of the leaf and stem. The only part of the female flower that we see when the plant is growing are the fine hairs called silks. So there are many varieties within the types of corn that I am about to go over with you guys. And the varieties of yellow and white corn are the most popular as food, though there are varieties with red, blue, pink, and black kernels that are often banded, spotted, or striped. So first we have dent corn. So this is typical feed corn. It is harvested in its mature stage when the kernels are dry, and then it is processed. This typically ends up in livestock feed. Then you have sweet corn, which is what you typically buy at the grocery store and eat for dinner. Then there's flint corn, also known as Indian or calico corn, and it's even harder than dent corn. If you see decorative corn, those fall-flavored ears that have the husks still on them, it's almost certain to be flint corn. However, flint corn has a high nutrient value, and once the grains are dried, they can be used for a number of foods. This includes cornmeal, corn flour, hominy, polenta, and grits. And then you have heirloom corn. And this refers to the corn that's not mass-produced and tends to be varieties that have all but disappeared. So the basics of harvesting corn. It needs full sun. It needs deep, well-drained, and fertile soil. Propagate by seed. Germination temperatures are 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit and will not germinate temperatures below 55 degrees. Days to emergence. 4 to 7, and super sweet hybrids require more moisture and often take longer to germinate. Consider planting a legume cover crop the season before corn to help meet the nutrient needs of this heavy feeder. Make your first planting after the last frost date. To speed increase in soil temperature, consider covering soil with black plastic or several weeks before you start planting. Plant seeds 1 inch deep and 4 to 6 inches apart in rows that are 30 to 36 inches apart. Thin to 8 to 12 inch spacings when the plants are 3 to 4 inches tall. Corn plants have many roots close to the surface, so cultivate around them with care. You can hill up soil around the base of the plants as they grow to bury small weeds in the row and to give the corn a better foothold. Corn is a heavy feeder, particularly of nitrogen, and may require several additions of fertilizer for best yields. Look for signs of nutrient deficiency. So this can include purple tinged leaves are a sign of phosphorus deficiency, and pale green leaves are a sign of nitrogen deficiency. When sweet corn is ready to harvest, ears are plump and the silks have turned brown and started to dry up. You can test for maturity by gently peeling back the husk to check the kernel size. And temperature at which sweet corn is harvested and can be stored can have a dramatic effect on eating quality. After harvest, sweetness rapidly declines as sugar in the kernel is converted to starch. This conversion is accelerated by high temperatures. Although super sweet types retain sweetness much longer than the other types, it is still important to harvest all types of corn early in the morning or late evening when temperatures are cool, and then to refrigerate to maintain that quality. There are a few pests and diseases common to corn. So pests are European corn borer, and corn earworms. So they can destroy the corn stalks in the fall to kill wintering larvae of European corn borer, and plant early to avoid corn earworm. Seed corn maggots. So avoid heavy manure and organic matter in the garden, which attract adults and encourage egg laying. Do not overwater, use insecticide-treated seed, and wear gloves when planting. As for diseases, you have rust, so avoid wetting foliage if possible. Water earlier in the day so above ground plants will start to dry as quickly as possible. Avoid crowding plants and space apart to allow air circulation. And then there's smut. So pick and remove galls before they break open. And as always, I have a couple of fun facts about the subject. So Iowa is the leading state in corn production. On average, an ear of corn has 800 kernels and 16 rows. Corn will always have an even number of rows on each cob. A bushel is a unit of measure for volumes of dry commodities such as shelled corn kernels. 1 bushel of corn is equal to about 8 gallons. With the exception of Antarctica, corn is produced on every continent in the world. There are over 3,500 different uses for corn products. Juices and soft drinks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi contain corn sweeteners. A bushel of corn can sweeten 400 cans of soft drinks. Corn is also used as feeding fodder for livestock, poultry, and can sometimes be found in domestic pet food. Corn can be produced in various colors, including blackish, bluish, grayish, purple, green, red, white, and the most common, yellow. And that just kind of goes back to the variety and different types of corn slide that I presented to you guys earlier today. So to finish us off, here are the resources that I used to complete my presentation. As always, stay tuned for Eileen's video next Friday. Again, a fun, delicious recipe for you guys to do right at home. And if you have any questions, I have my email address as well as Eileen's down at the bottom of the screen. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good weekend. Bye.